According to the recently unveiled anti-corruption preaching and teaching manuals, corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in position of trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Good evening and thanks for joining us again on the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On the program today, we shall be bringing you a report on the recent unveiling of the anti-corruption preaching and teaching manuals for both Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. Also to come, a federal high court, Benin Edo State, has convicted and sentenced one Emmanuel Sunday, who is also known by the names Umo Sunday Iyang Samuel Chukwudi, to 7.5 years imprisonment for obtaining money under false pretense. And on our special focus segment, the Eagle team had a chat with Dr. Thomas Adaba, a former Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, NBC. We will be back after the break. Please stay tuned.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough, I don't need pay. I don't need pay.
Reminiscing as I walk to my car, thinking about how we used to be. For Ekoma, I did ride Okada, and most times I did so carry. I wanted to change the way I live, but I didn't have to do those things. Now I'm rolling VIP, and all the girls wanna be like me. Yeah.
You ask me how I deal with my reality. Gotta tell you truly, it ain't easy now. I feel the pressure to find something wrong to do. Then I remember you reap what you sow. Now I'm sitting staring at the screen of my computer, thinking really hard about what truly matters. What's with all this data? Just to catch a maga. He could have been my father or someone else's brother. For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough.
First on our lineup today is a story on the recent unveiling of the Interfaith Anti-Corruption Preaching and Teaching Manuals. The manuals are part of efforts by the EFCC to combat corruption in the country. Camilo Gebi is our guide.
The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Lamorde, who spoke at the book unveiling event at the main auditorium of the National Center for Women Development, Abuja, reiterated the need for religious bodies to be involved in the war against corruption. He said the commission came to the unassailable conclusion that to successfully combat economic and financial crimes, including corruption and money laundering, it would take more than enforcement of laws.
The journey to today's event actually began more than 7 years ago in August 2007. The Commission had come to the unassailable conclusion that successfully combating economic and financial crimes, including corruption and money laundering, will take more than enforcement of laws. Realizing the need to harness critical stakeholders' input into the Anti-Graft campaign, the EFCC reached out to organize and semi-formal groups, students and women's bodies, town unions, and age-grade groups, professional and social associations, religious bodies, and other social interest associations. It was obvious that because Nigeria is a deeply religious country, one of those groups that will have the most far-reaching and sustained impact on our people is the faith-based groups.
Also speaking at the event, Professor Ishak Oloyede, chairman of the Interfaith Anti-Corruption Advisory Committee, IAAC, saddled with the responsibility of producing the manual, described the book as a major step forward in the war against corruption.
Manual and the facilitator's guide are very good materials, not only for teachers and preachers, but also for pastors and imams. If you shortly want to go to the pulpit to deliver your Friday sermon or Sunday sermon and you are not prepared, if you take one, you have all the materials you need to talk on anything you want to talk about corruption in terms of Quranic and biblical verses and all other sources. It's a very good book for students and scholars of contemporary studies, religion, law, and civic education. The main focus of the materials is attitudinal change. We want to effect attitudinal change. So when you see the book, you'll find out that what they have there, apart not just giving you the materials, there are stories there, there are jokes that are religion friendly in the book. There are even tests for you that you can use in your Sunday school, in your adult Arabic school, in your mosque, in your places of worship, and can also be used for general studies in Nigerian universities.
The Emir of Suleja, Alhaji Awal Ibrahim, a former governor of Niger State, representing the Sultan of Sokoto, jointly unveiled the manuals with Archbishop Prince John Daniel, who represented the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Pastor Ayo Orita-Jafo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after unveiling this publication, let me assure you that I cannot wait to read and imbibe the knowledge that is in this book. For me to appreciate what role we at the traditional level of leadership in this country will play in order to contribute towards the eradication of corruption. I wish you all the best of luck.
The manual, which focuses on utilizing the Muslim and Christian platforms to engage the public in fighting corruption, is the outcome of a National Interfaith Forum on Corruption organized by the Commission in August 2007. The manual contains scriptural references, illustrations, and teaching aids drawn from the Bible and the Holy Quran. In another development, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned one Michael Ogun, popularly known as Idris Suleiman, before Justice Olubukola Adeniyi of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Apo, Abuja, for offences bordering on forgery. The accused was alleged to have extorted money from members of the public in the pretext of offering them employment into the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, and other paramilitary agencies. The accused pleaded not guilty to the 6-count charge preferred against him by the EFCC. Justice Adeniyi granted the accused bail in the sum of 2 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum. The case has been adjourned to February 18, 2015 for trial. In a related development, an official of the Katsina State Command of the Nigerian Prison Service, Sani Usman Nambulbuli, was docked by the EFCC before Justice Rilwanu Muhammad Aikawa of the Federal High Court sitting in Sokoto on a 5-count charge bordering on employment fraud and obtaining money by false pretense. The accused, sometime in 2011, met one Usman Sani Isa at Abuja and promised to help secure employment for him with the Nigeria Customs Service. Thereafter, he collected various sums of money amounting to 400,000 naira which he claimed will be used to purchase customs training kits and uniforms. But the employment neither materialized nor was he willing to refund the money collected from the victim. The accused person pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Justice Aikawa, however, granted him bail in the sum of 500 million naira and a surety in like sum who must be a civil servant not below grade level 8.
Cheers!
What is it?
Please, keep to yourself. Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
Yes.
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
Why Jehovah Magadam?
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past deeds?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you.
Hey!
Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe on water. I embezzled the money at the fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fear, especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing wuru to submit other people money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
Jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle. Emmanuel Sunday, also known as Umo Sunday Iyang Samuel Chukwudi, has been convicted and sentenced to 7.5 years imprisonment without the option of a fine over a 1.5 million naira job scam. Camilo gave you once again.
Justice P.I. Ajoku of the Federal High Court, Benin, Edo State, has convicted and sentenced one Emmanuel Sunday to 7.5 years imprisonment without an option of fine for obtaining money under false pretense. The convict was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on March 19, 2014, on an 8-count charge bordering on obtaining money by false pretense. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. After diligent prosecution, Justice Ajoku found him guilty on 5-count amended charge and sentenced him to 30 months imprisonment on each of the counts. In addition to the verdict, the court also ordered that the convict forfeits his 2 mobile phones to the federal government. Emmanuel's journey to prison started when he was arrested in Benin on August 13, 2013, by a section of the Nigerian Army Brigade for posing as an army captain to defraud one Igwe Endurance of the sum of over 1,500,000 naira in the pretext that the said amount be used to facilitate her recruitment into the Nigerian Army. His sentence is, however, to run concurrently.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Welcome back on the program. A Lagos High Court sitting in Ikeja has issued a bench warrant against the medical director of Federal Medical Center, Owo, Ondo State, Dr. Olufemi Omotosho, for failing to appear in court for arraignment in a case of 1.2 million naira bribe case. The report.
Dr. Olufemi Omotosho and his alleged accomplice, Ayo Owoka, who is his lawyer, were charged to court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on a 5-count charge bordering on conspiracy, offering of gratification, and giving false information to a public officer. The duo allegedly conspired to offer over 1 million naira bribe to operatives of the EFCC on 27 February 2014. Owoka was arrested as he tried to bribe the officers and, on being questioned, confessed that the money was given to him by Omotosho to compromise the investigation into a case of contract inflation, abuse of office, stealing, embezzlement, and misappropriation of funds at the Federal Medical Center, Owo. At the resumed hearing of the case, Justice Lawal Akapo expressed dissatisfaction that the arraignment could not take place due to Omotosho's absence in court. He therefore ordered operatives of the EFCC to arrest Omotosho and produce him in court on the next adjourned date of 26th January 2015 for the arraignment.
Next is our special focus segment. On the segment, the Eagle team interviewed Dr. Thomas A. Adaba, the executive chairman of Dream Communications, who said unbridled quest for money, power and popularity is satanic. The report is presented again by Kamilu Gebi.
Dr. Thomas A. Adaba is the executive chairman of Dream Communications, a public relations concern. He also serves as a director at Dar Communications PLC. His outfit recently collaborated with the Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, to organize a retreat on security media relations in crisis management. What informed your choice of security media relationship in crisis management as a theme for the retreat which Dream Communications packaged in collaboration with the Office of the NSA?
If you are in the media, you will see that what has been coming up on the media, especially with the newspapers, as they relate to elements of security in this country, were not particularly wholesome. They were not pleasant. People were moving at cross purposes. There were very divergent views. And sometimes what you read was a clear indication of whatever the magazine, or I mean the media house stood for. And I was very visibly worried about that. And I'd been looking around places to see who my company, my organization could work with to at least bring about some awareness on the part of both the media owners and the practitioners themselves vis-a-vis the security operatives and security chiefs.
To what extent did you achieve the objectives of the retreat?
From the assessment, their assessment, it was a very clear approval that it was necessary, it was timely, and it was meant to achieve that particular objective, and it did.
As the pioneer Director General of NBC from 1992 to 1999, what would you consider as the innovations in broadcast regulation in the country?
Let's get one thing straight. The environments for regulation and even the environments for operation were quite different. Don't forget that 1992 to 1999 was still under a military regime. Even though we were phasing out, we're thinning out into some element of democracy. It didn't come up until 1999. 1999, August, September was when I left the service. But even then, one, that the regulation of broadcasting came up under a military regime was a due credit to the military president that set it up. That was General Ibrahim Babangida. And that we're given the responsibility of midwifing it, bringing it onto par with the others, was a privilege for us. Now, from 1992 to say about 1995, the stations that had been licensed were just trying to find their feet. And there was a need, therefore, for some level of understanding in our midwifery of the stations. But I want to thank and praise God that they did not disappoint us either. They came out, and they came out with a bang. They came out and came out with wonderful ideas, fresh ideas, revolutionary ideas that changed the broadcast scenario, which has remained so up till today.
Nigeria is so blessed, yet so poor. Why this irony?
Don't exalt money. When you don't make it look like the be-all and end-all, then we'll be on the move. When there is the level of education that needs to be given to the people, I'm not saying that we ignore money. When money is used for all the things we want to do, but the idiocy the stupidity, the worthlessness in some brains that fill their rooms with money, yet others around them are suffering. I don't know what religion preaches that. When you are admonished to love your neighbor as yourself, you build a skyscraper in a village, and the people around you are in huts, and you expect them to be happy with you. Does it make sense? I've said this, I say it again. For somebody who owns 1 billion naira, or who stole 1 billion naira, because I mean, to own 1 billion naira is not an easy thing. I don't know how you can come about owning it without necessarily being crooked. Now, for somebody who has 1 billion naira, if he decides that I'm no more going to work, I will be feeding on this at 100,000 naira every day, it will take him 27 years to finish 1 billion naira. 27 years plus to finish 1 billion naira. That 1 billion naira could give at least 1,000 scholarships. That 1 billion naira could build at least 1,000 boreholes. That 1 billion naira could build at least 500 cottage hospitals. That 1 billion naira could build some kilometers of roads. One individual decides to hold it. What for?
He urged the religious leaders to begin to preach that money is not needed in heaven.
The religious leaders need to continue driving this in. Instead of accepting any money that comes to them as Thanksgiving or whatever it is, let people get to know that at the end of the day, when you are going down there, 6 feet, you're not carrying anything with you. And look at the rich people, the so-called rich people. When they die, what do they leave? They leave a lot of problems for the families, a lot of issues for the families to sort out. People are seeing this. Can they learn from it? What are you doing with it? Where does it carry you to? I think we need a moral revival. And that in itself, because it's a stupid thing. To keep thinking, this money will take care of this. Does money buy your soul? And at the end of the day, the most important thing is, what account are you going to give to God? And if you don't think about that, it's a pity. It's a pity.
What is the way out?
The EFCC should not just be interested in arresting people, in getting criminals or whatever. EFCC should also begin to be proactive. EFCC should work with the ministries of education to see what can be inculcated in the school curricula.
But the children learn faster from their parents. Don't you think this reform should be from the top downward instead of bottom top?
If they're learning from the parents, what are the schools meant to do? The schools have a responsibility of righting even the wrongs. Yes, I've seen that over and over, of children of big men who just, they go to the same vault where the father has all the money, they go and pull whatever it is. And if you notice, the children of these so-called big men are the most problematic. They are the drug addicts, they are the this and the that, because they get the money, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. So, whose fault is that? But all I'm saying is, yes, parents might be scandalous in their approach to these things, but let the schools, let the churches also help to mold the child.
What do you think will become of Nigeria in the next 10 years?
I want to believe, and very firmly, that we won't continue like this. I want to believe we will not continue like this. Somewhere, somehow, some people will begin to reason. some people will begin to ask questions. Some people will begin to say, no, let's retreat. Let's get ourselves back to order. Let's go to the good old days where the image, the integrity of the individual counts very much. I want to believe that we'll get to that. We will get to that. Not in the next 10 years, 15 years, the children will have something to be proud of. I believe so.
What is your message to the EFCC chairman, Ibrahim Lamordi?
Keep on the good works. If you know there are lacunas anywhere in your operations, get rid of them and keep moving. Let people see what you're doing. You are not running a charity organization. You are running what do you call it? A corrective, whatever it is, organization. So let the Nigerians know what you're doing. Let Nigerians know what you're doing. You've got to give it publicity. It's only through that we will know that you are indeed working very hard.
An engaging interview, I must say. Folks, we've come to the end of today's edition of the program. Please join us next week for another exciting package. To be part of this program, please send your contributions to info@efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or officialefcc@gmail.com. You can also like our page on facebook.com/Official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @Official EFCC. To watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Gambari saying, thanks for watching and God bless Nigeria.